King Henry I of England dies in 1135, leaving no male heir to the throne. England quickly becomes a realm consumed by fire and fear. A period of civil war called the Anarchy ensues. Once proud castles lie in ruins, their stones scarred by the ravages of war. Villages are deserted, their inhabitants either fled or slain. Two claimants to the throne, both with a legitimate claim, are locked in a deadly struggle for power. Caught in the middle are the English people, their lives and livelihoods shattered by the relentless conflict. In this crucible of violence and despair, a queen will rise and fall, her dreams of power dashed against the unyielding walls of tradition and the ambitions of ruthless men. On one side stands Empress Matilda, daughter of King Henry I. Her claim to the throne is strong, rooted in her father's bloodline and the oaths of loyalty sworn by the English nobility. She is a woman of formidable intelligence and an iron will, also known as Empress Maud. Her first marriage was to the Holy Roman Emperor Henry V. After his death, she married Geoffrey, the Count of Anjou and Duke of Normandy. Matilda was named heir to the throne of England by her father, yet she is hampered by the traditions of her time. No woman had yet inherited the English throne. Arrayed against her is her cousin, Stephen of Blois, grandson of William the Conqueror. His claim rests on his proximity to the throne through the male line. He is a charismatic and popular figure known for his courage and chivalry. However, he lacks the political acumen and ruthlessness needed to maintain control in these turbulent times. His reign is marked by indecision and a failure to curb the ambitions of his own barons, who grow increasingly restless and power-hungry. The seeds of this conflict were sown years earlier, upon the tragic death of Henry I's only legitimate son, who drowned along with many nobles in the White Ship disaster. Only one person, a butcher from Rouen, survived out of 300 people when the ship sank in the English Channel. With no clear male heir, Henry declared his daughter, Matilda, as his successor. He forced his barons to swear oaths of fealty to her, but deep down many harbored doubts. England had never been ruled by a queen, and the idea was anathema to some. When Henry died, Stephen of Blois, sensing an opportunity, seized the throne for himself. He was crowned king within weeks, his claim bolstered by his strategic alliances and the support of the powerful Londoners. Matilda, pregnant with her third child, was caught off guard. Relegated to her husband's lands in Anjou, she could only watch and wait for the opportune moment to strike. That moment would arrive sooner than anyone anticipated. In 1139, Matilda, with the support of her illegitimate half-brother, Robert of Gloucester, landed on English soil. Her arrival ignited the smoldering embers of discontent into the inferno of civil war. The anarchy had begun. Matilda, with her fiery spirit and unwavering belief in her right to rule, quickly rallied supporters to her cause. The initial clashes of the war were marked by a brutal back-and-forth struggle. Matilda, based in the southwest, and Stephen, controlling London in the southeast, vied for control of the kingdom. Castles changed hands with dizzying frequency, their sieges marked by acts of barbarity on both sides. The English people, caught in the crossfire, suffered immensely. The turning point came in 1141 at the Battle of Lincoln. Stephen, overconfident and perhaps a touch foolhardy, led his forces into a trap. The result was a crushing defeat for the king. Captured and imprisoned, Stephen's reign seemed to be at an end. Matilda, at the height of her power, prepared to claim the prize she had long coveted. the throne of England. In July 1141, Matilda entered London in triumph, ready to be crowned queen. But her moment of victory was short-lived. Perhaps embittered by years of struggle, Matilda made a series of what might be seen as political blunders. She refused to release Stephen, fearing his potential to rally opposition. She levied heavy taxes on London, further alienating the city's powerful citizens. When she advanced on London to receive the crown, Stephen's supporters rose up and forced her to leave. Her grip on power, so recently firm, began to slip through her fingers like sand. The anarchy, far from being over, entered a new and even more chaotic phase. The war dragged on, a bloody stalemate that seemed to have no end. In a strange twist of fate, Robert of Gloucester, Matilda's most steadfast supporter, was captured by Stephen's forces. A prisoner exchange was negotiated, with the king and the duke both regaining their freedom. The war had come full circle, with neither side able to deliver a decisive blow. Matilda, her forces depleted and her authority waning, found herself besieged in Oxford by Stephen's army. The situation seemed dire, her dreams of ruling England on the verge of collapse. Yet, even in defeat, Matilda's courage and cunning did not desert her. In the dead of winter, with Stephen's forces closing in, Matilda made a daring escape. Cloaked in white to blend in with the snow, she slipped out of Oxford Castle and, under the cover of darkness, crossed the frozen River Thames. It was a perilous journey, but one that showcased her bravery and determination. Matilda's escape from Oxford marked the beginning of the end of her bid for the English throne. She would never again come so close to achieving her ambition. In 1148, she returned to Normandy, leaving her son, the future Henry II of England, to carry on the fight. Though she never wore the English crown, Matilda's impact on English history was profound. Her struggle paved the way for the accession of her son, who returned to England with an army and forced Stephen to recognize him as his heir. Henry ascended the throne after Stephen's death in 1154. Inheriting his mother's intelligence, ambition, and perhaps a touch of her ruthlessness, Henry II would become one of England's greatest kings. The Anarchy, a period of unparalleled chaos and bloodshed, had a lasting impact on England. It weakened the monarchy, strengthened the power of the barons, and left a legacy of bitterness and resentment that would echo for generations. Yet, from the ashes of this conflict arose a new England, one on the cusp of a golden age under the rule of the Plantagenet dynasty. And at the heart of this transformation stood Empress Matilda, the uncrowned queen, the woman who had dared to challenge the very foundations of English society. Her story is a testament to the complexities of history and the enduring legacy of a mother's love for her son. Thank you for watching. If you found this video beneficial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Trot Historia to continue learning from the annals of history.